Hey everybody, you're watching We the Fandom, where we discuss comic books, pop culture, and the fandom experience. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more content. How's it going everybody? Jacob here at We the Fandom, and in today's video, I will be reviewing episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett, titled From the Desert Comes a Stranger. So the last episode was a really good one, but it was also not a Boba Fett episode. It was entirely focused on the Mandalorian. Boba Fett was only mentioned once. This episode I had assumed was going to be mostly Mandalorian related as well, due to the fact that he intended to meet Grogu before helping Boba Fett, and I was mostly correct. The episode starts off with Cobb Vanth, who had previously held Boba Fett's armor and appeared in Season 2 of The Mandalorian, and he ends up killing members of the Pike Syndicate when they attempt to sell spice near Mos Pelgo. We then switch to the Mandalorian, who flies to a planet that I don't recognize. It could be Octo, I think it's pronounced, from The Last Jedi, but I think it might be something different. And while I did figure we'd get a Luke Skywalker cameo, he's actually first met by Ahsoka, which is just one of many cameos, making me wonder if this is even a Boba Fett show anymore. She interacts with Mando, calling herself a Skywalker family friend, obviously due to her being the former Padawan of Anakin as well as a friend to Padme. She even calls Luke Master Luke, which is interesting because both Ahsoka and Grogu are both older than Luke and were also trained as Jedi before Luke was even born. We do indeed see Luke Skywalker and Grogu, a lot actually. They take up at least a third of the episode, which I was really surprised by. They are introduced a bit unceremoniously compared to Luke's appearance in The Mandalorian, but I want to say they definitely got better with the deepfake technology with Luke Skywalker. But the voice throws me off just enough to know that this isn't actually Mark Hamill fully playing the character. We get a lot of scenes of Luke Skywalker training Grogu. He teaches him how to use the Force, how to wield a lightsaber, how to train with the training remote. It even includes a scene with them running through the woods with Grogu on Luke's back, calling back to one of the training scenes from The Empire Strikes Back. He also uses some sort of Force ability and unlocks one of Grogu's memories, specifically his memory of the night during which Order 66 took place, when the clones were killing the Jedi. And hopefully at some point we'll actually learn how he escaped the temple. While it was cool to see Luke in this episode, it's obvious that they are already trying to bridge his current character to the betrayal we got in The Last Jedi, which was almost universally disliked. He's already showing doubt in his ability to train Grogu, which, while on the one hand it makes sense since he's never trained anyone before, but on the other hand, I was hoping for a little more optimism given that Luke just defeated 2 Dark Lords of the Sith. Now, while Mando did go to see Grogu to give him the armor, he doesn't get to meet Grogu, due to the fact that Ahsoka convinces him not to actually meet him, because in order for Grogu to continue his Jedi training, he has to forego all attachments to include Din Djarin. Mando decides to return to Boba Fett, with Fennec Shand revealing that while they do have enough hired muscle to act as enforcers, they still need an army. So Mando goes to Cobb Vanth to try and recruit the people of Mos Pelgo, which they're now calling Freetown. And that was all we saw of Boba Fett in that episode. So while Boba's side is making their moves, the Pikes are as well. They end up blowing up the bar that Boba has ties with, and they end up hiring someone to go intimidate Mos Pelgo, leading to a very interesting and unexpected cameo with Cobb Vanth looking into the horizon, and out of the desert walks Cad Bane, who was last seen in the Bad Batch, having a pretty rough time trying to capture the young clone Omega. He actually had to fight Fennec Shand in that, so we might get to see a rematch between the two of them. He seems to be an enforcer of the Pikes and comes to Freetown to convince them not to interfere in the spice trade, but I'm really hoping that he wasn't just used as a plot device to encourage the citizens of Freetown to join the fight against the Pikes. I'm also not sure that Cad Bane's design translates well to live action. The voice is okay, but it's definitely missing something, and I'm not sure if they use prosthetics or a mix of prosthetics and CGI, but the portrayal is definitely stiff compared to the animated version. We'll see what he does for the rest of the series, but it is cool that he's survived this long, and I'm really hoping that we'll get some flashbacks showing him fighting Boba Fett, as there's supposedly a lost episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars, or at least concept art for it, which would have shown a fight between the 2 bounty hunters, which would have revealed how Boba Fett received the dent in his helmet. We get a final scene showing Luke and Grogu meditating, with Luke deciding to give Grogu the chainmail Beskar armor. But he also offers him Yoda's lightsaber, so he gives Grogu a choice. Either Grogu can take the lightsaber or the armor, but not both. Taking the armor means that he accepts attachment and will return to the Mandalorian. Choosing the lightsaber means he will receive years of training and become a Jedi Master, but may never see the Mandalorian again. Unfortunately, they leave us on a cliffhanger, so we don't get to learn what he chooses in this episode. So I suppose from the last episode, the amount of time that Boba Fett appears does go up, but it's only about by a minute. He didn't even talk in this episode, so what the hell? I'm wondering if the flashbacks that we got were meant to be Boba Fett's whole story in the show. Like the creators thought they were throwing us a bone by showing us how Boba escaped the Sarlacc and what he did immediately after. And they're like, well, there you go, that's Boba Fett, now let's move on to setting up Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Now, if this was The Mandalorian, I would be grateful for a break from the monotony with a cameo, but as a Boba Fett fan, I'm extremely disappointed. Yeah, a cameo from Luke was awesome. Ahsoka, not as good, but still okay. Cad Bane, very unexpected and still not entirely sure how I feel about the translation to live action, but as a Boba Fett fan, his show seems to have been commandeered by The Mandalorian. That on top of the fact that I still concede that we have yet to see the actual character of Boba Fett appear on the show. The Book of Boba Fett, as sad as it is to say, is basically for Boba Fett fans what The Last Jedi was for Luke Skywalker fans. Nostalgia bait, while giving the hardcore fans pretty much the opposite of what they wanted. Someone needs to tell the writers at Disney that subverting expectations isn't a new gimmick, nor does it make the story better when you do it in every story that you tell. But who knows? Maybe the finale will be great, Boba Fett will do a complete 180, and all of my complaints will be completely unfounded. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comment section below. Do you think the show has entirely lost focus of Boba Fett? And do you think they will kill him off in order to continue the success of The Mandalorian? If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like and subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. I'll see you all next time. Bye.